How to Survive in America, a 10-lesson guide by Ian C. Dawkins Moore. This is part 3 of a book called Arrival, Culture Shock in America. Content. Lesson 1. First learn how to learn. Lesson 2. The art of communicating. Lesson 3. Be a communicator. Lesson 4. The 7 phases of culture shock. Lesson 5. How to be an American. Lesson 6. ESL, or English as a Silly Language. Lesson 7. Getting a Job. Lesson 8. How to give a speech. Lesson 9. Cultural signals in the workplace. Lesson 10. The culture of survival in America. Acknowledgements about the author, other books by the author. Lesson 1. First learn how to learn. The only man who is educated is the man who has learned how to learn. The man who has learned how to adapt and change. The man who has realized that no knowledge is secure, but only the process of seeking knowledge gives a basis for security. Carl Rogers, 1969. Learning a foreign language is not rocket science. It's all based on how well you know yourself and how well you can use all your abilities to practice the new sounds and words you hear. If you really want to learn English, and motivation is 80% of your success, you will need strategies. What follows are some strategies you can use. So read them one by one carefully and think about how you can use each of them in your unique learning process. 1. Begin with being honest with yourself and identify the goals you want to achieve by learning English. Write down your ideas and reasons for learning. Do you want to learn English because you want to get an English-speaking girlfriend or boyfriend? Or is it because some member of your family speaks English and you want to understand them? Are you aiming to get a promotion or a special position in your company? Do you want to learn English because you like the sound of the language? Do you have a need to fill your free time by learning something? Number 2, write it down. Every time you feel despair in your learning process, write it down, along with why. You will then have created a list of reasons that will help you understand your difficulties and allow you to set your goals and avoid being distracted. Number 3, select a regular time and space to study and learn. In your daily routine, take 20 or 30 minutes or an hour each day, whatever time is available to you for your language learning. You must make sure that learning English is as important to you as eating, socializing, taking a shower, having a cup of coffee or tea, or the many other things you make time for in each day. I recommend you experiment between mornings, afternoons, and evenings on different days because depending on your daily routine, so your feelings and ability to learn will be different. Pick the day and time that works best for you. Number 4, choose only 1 or 2 subjects at a time and focus your attention. Remember that learning English is a process. Also, don't treat your memory as if it's a computer hard disk. We are humans and our memories are flexible. When you learn a particular item, feel it. In other words, imagine situations in which you can use the words or expressions you are hearing. Number 5, learn the basics, then select what you want to learn. When you're planning how to learn English, you must prioritize. Imagine the circumstances in which you will be using these new words and phrases you're learning. Are you going to a party where there'll be plenty of English-speaking people? Then introductions and greetings will be your main priority. If you're going to be traveling around an English-speaking country, you will want to concentrate on learning phrases that will help you buy a ticket or ask for information. Remember to learn the basics first. Number 6. Practice what you're learning. Repeat, review, repeat. When you're learning a new word, you must repeat it a few times first, and after a short interval, recall it again. Choose intervals between 5 seconds and a minute. Number 7. Assess yourself constantly. Learn words and expressions in both languages, English and your native language, and record the English word or expression in your language and vice versa. 8. Put words and ideas together that increase your speed. When practicing English, slow down. Try to speak each word and each syllable as slowly as possible. Once you can say the words clearly, then increase your speed. Number 9. Balance your learning with reading skills. Every time you write, read, or listen to English, feel it. Say the word aloud, then repeat it. And number 10. When speaking English, guess, try, and repeat. Remember that guessing is about 25% of the secret of how to learn English and how to speak it. Don't feel embarrassed because you've misunderstood. Don't feel embarrassed because you understood or said something wrong. Say sorry and carry on. Good learners of English are willing guessers. Number 11. Make an effort to communicate and don't be shy. Good students of English have a strong drive to communicate or to learn from communicators. They are serious about how to learn English, so they are willing to do many things to get their message across. Number 12. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Good learners of English are not inhibited. They are willing to make mistakes in order to learn to communicate. They are also willing to live with a certain amount of vagueness. They are often willing to appear foolish. Number 13. Learn the language rules and patterns of speaking. In addition to focusing on communication, good students of English are prepared and constantly looking for patterns and rhythms in the language. For instance, in many everyday situations, you can use the question, "Can I have? Can I have?" Sound out the words in your own language if necessary. Get used to making a connection to how the sound is spelt. Number 14. Good learners of English practice to become perfect because practice makes perfect. Good learners of English improve daily. Good learners are constantly aware of how well their speech is being received and whether their performance meets the standards they have set themselves, because every communicator is responsible for the person that they're speaking to understand what you're saying. It's not their job to understand you, but you to understand them. 16. Good learners learn how English works. In order to understand the message, it's important to pay attention to the grammar of the language, how it is used, as well as the body language and tone of voice of the one speaking. 17. Good learners speak English every chance they get. Many times you have the choice of speaking in English or in your own native language, but when the people you are speaking to also speak English or another language, don't hesitate to speak English as often as possible. Remember, every time you struggle, you're learning. When first you don't succeed, try, and try again. Nothing beats a failure but a try.
Lesson 2. The art of communicating. An important part of learning a language is speaking. Most of us don't practice speaking, even in our own languages. We do plenty of talking and growling and shouting and complaining, but we don't talk with the idea that we want the listener to actually hear and understand what we are saying. Communication requires an intention to make clear what you have to say. As the communicator, You are 100% responsible for being understood. The listener is not obliged to figure out what you mean to say. In everyday conversation, when we visually interact with someone, we have the benefit of watching that person's body language respond to our words. Body language represents some 55% of the information communicated to us by someone we're talking to. The tone with which they speak provides another 38% of the information we use to make a judgment about a person, and only 7% of their verbal language registers as important to us. We can see the results of this from the political classes, who make some of the stupidest statements, yet they're always well-dressed and coiffured, and their tone is always soothing and patronizing. The effectiveness of communication has more to do with appropriate presentation than it does with authenticity. This is why most people have difficulty with public speaking. They get confused between what they say and how they are saying it, whether they are being authentic or just babbling. The political class has no problem with this contradiction. They always babble first and worry about meaning second. However, if you or I really want to communicate sincerely, we must control the articulation of our voice and our physical presentation, which can be improved with a few simple exercises. With some focused attention, we can project to another person the image, attitude, and sound we want him or her to hear. Learning a language is like being an actor, auditioning for a part. The part you're going for is the role of a fluent English speaker. To improve voice dexterity, exercising the muscles we use to talk, there are a number of exercises available. Each person needs to explore and find those that work best for him or her. I include some here as part of a 5-minute warm-up exercise program for improving speech. Lip exercises. 1. Sit upright and purse the lips together. Lift the pursed lips upwards towards your nose as far as possible and keep them there for a count of 5. Repeat. 2. Pucker your lips slightly and try to bring the corners of your mouth together. Hold for a count of 5. Repeat. Number 3. Keep your lips and teeth together. Smile as broadly as possible without opening your lips. Hold for a count of 5. Repeat. Number 4. Pucker your lips to a kiss. Keep and hold for a count of 5. Repeat. With your puckered lips closed, curl them inward towards your mouth, across your teeth. Hold for a count of 5. Repeat. Cheek exercises. 1. Pucker and pout your lips using your cheek muscles. Hold for a count of 5. Repeat. 2. With your lips closed, smile a relaxed smile, and then suck your cheek muscles towards your eyes for a count of 5. Repeat. Number 3. Pucker your top lip. Turn the corners of your lips upwards and move your cheek muscles towards your eyes for a count of 5. Repeat. Smile as widely as possible with lips and teeth closed. Try to get the corners of your mouth to touch your ears for a count of 5. Repeat. These are some warm-up exercises, but please don't do them while you're driving. Preparation. Feet apart, stretch up tall. Bend from the waist, releasing one vertebrae at a time. Knees bent. Try touching your fingers to the floor. Raise your trunk slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, making the ha sound on every out breath. Stand erect and swing your arms in large circles, one arm at a time. Say Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. As you warm up your throat, repeat the following sounds back to front. And finally, some tongue twisters. Repeat these to yourself. Try to remember them and practice them. You can do these in the car. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. Where she sits, she shines, and where she shines, she sits. The 33 thieves thought that they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. That's a sound for the TH sound. The 33 thieves thought that they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday. This is an exercise for P's. Picky people pick Peter Pan peanut butter. It's the peanut butter picky people pick. So it's an explosive sound. P, 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 p. Picky people pick Peter Pan peanut butter. It's the peanut butter picky people pick. And this is one with the R's. Around the rugged rocks the ragged rascal ran. Around the rugged rocks the ragged rascal ran. And then a B sound. Again, this is implosive, so b, b, b. Betty better butter Brad's bread better. Betty better butter Brad's bread better. Betty better butter Brad's bread better. And finally, if Stu chews shoes, should Stu choose the shoes he chews? If Stu chews shoes, should Stu choose the shoes he chews? If you make a daily habit of this 5-minute program, you will see immediate improvements in your voice control and projection within a week.
Lesson 3. Tomorrow belongs to the communicators. Are you a student or professional who recognizes the need for improvement in your presentation and speech? Are you a business leader who recognizes the need for speech improvement in your employees? Are you an individual who recognizes that you will make more progress and money in your career when you communicate better? One of my skill sets is as a speech coach. What follows is a party economic presentation. Speech coaching picks up where ESL classes stop. Improving your ability to communicate in English is of growing importance to business professionals developing new enterprises or advancing in corporate America. Speech coaching offers the following benefits: breathing and exercises that make speaking effortless and commanding, the proper placement of tongue, lip, and teeth, the placement of the accent on the proper syllable, hearing and practicing the proper consonant sounds and the special rules that apply to English, learning the proper vowel sounds, both long and short. By developing awareness about how sounds in English are formed, you'll be able to reproduce them and learn through practical exercises that will overcome your particular challenges so you can become a fluent speaker of English. Here ends my party economic presentation. Lesson 4. The 7 phases of culture shock. Someone who is going to live in another country will experience the cultural dislocation we call culture shock. These are normal feelings of being helpless and frustrated in a new country, where you may not speak the language or understand the culture. But the new country can also feel like a love affair, in which you are exposed to lots of new and exciting thoughts and feelings. Here are the 7 stages that most people go through in learning to integrate into their new homeland. Step 1. The honeymoon. Everything is beautiful. The weather is beautiful. The people are beautiful. The money is beautiful. I just don't understand anyone. Step 2. The first fight. This is not like it is at home. What will they think of next? Why do they do that? When will he stop talking? Where can I get an aspirin? Stage 3. I'm in love again. You know, if he just slowed down, I'd understand him. I can't believe I'm really free. I could live here forever. The money is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Stage 4. Sometimes I'm up and sometimes I'm down. Why didn't I hear from home this week? Wow, that concert ball game was awesome. I wonder if they got my money order I sent last week. It's great making real money. I know I shouldn't be so hard on myself. Stage 5. I need a break. Too much change, too much new stress. I really miss home. I'm glad I still have my hobby, playing the guitar. I finally found a support group with people just like me. Kiss. Keep it simple, silly. Stage 6. Learning the language culture. Good means bad, bad means good. Back to school, there's a lot to help me here. Practice makes perfect. Slow down. Success takes time, one step at a time. Will you please repeat that again? And the number 7 stage, becoming an American. Getting a job, learning the rules, joining groups, keeping up with my interests, getting to say what I really want. As a new American, you will feel a certain amount of frustration and irritability as you begin to learn about America. These tips will help you in your acculturation. Keep an open mind. Things are not always what they seem. Ask questions. Don't rush to make judgments. Make every effort to learn to speak English as soon as possible. Be patient and try to understand American culture without criticizing it or comparing it to your own. Participate in American life. Americans love to join groups and give to charities. By doing so yourself, you will learn the language and the culture quickly if you make an effort to meet Americans. Americans really like to be liked. Remember how far you come, not how far you have to go. Get a job as soon as possible and make plans to improve, advance, and succeed in the future. Here are some observations by visitors from other countries who came to America. The comments quoted in this section reflect the first impressions of individuals traveling to America from around the world and do not represent the government or political positions of their countries. Visitor from India. Americans are in a perpetual hurry. They don't allow themselves leisure time to enjoy life. Visitor from Kenya. Americans are distant, not close to other Americans. Individualism is high. American students are restless, inattentive, rebellious, and the teachers have poor class discipline. Parents are too preoccupied with work and can't spend time with their kids. Visitor from Ethiopia. Americans are direct. They want a yes or a no answer and don't like it when you speak figuratively. Visitor from Iran. Americans use the word friend loosely. It doesn't imply close ties or real bonds. Visitor from Vietnam. Americans are really handy, even the women. Americans are friendlier to strangers, but don't always care about family members. A visitor from the Philippines. Children are very forward in their speaking. They have no respect for elders. Children don't offer help to their parents willingly. They either have to be told or be rewarded with some kind of compensation. Visitor from Korea. Teachers give students too many choices, even for the kind of assignments to do, and the students still don't do well. End of part 1.